Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I am finishing the Masterpiece month of June with Beast Wars Masterpiece MP-43 Megatron. And here he is in his magnificent T-Rex mode. I think I opened this guy up several weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, he is looking like the T-Rex from the TV show just walked out of the screen. Let's go ahead and get a little closer. I got him on Dinobot stand. I'll show the adapter piece that he comes with. He does not come with his own stand. But if we take a close look, you can see like he's got that hexagonal skin texturing molded right in. He's got these like light highlights with the same resolution as the TV show, just like the other Beast Wars figures. He looks awesome. He's a big, menacing T-Rex. He actually doesn't always need the stand. Like, we can get him standing on his own. Just move maybe the feet back just a little bit. Get his toes down. There we go. Yeah, so he doesn't need the stand to balance. Like I said, this is Dinobot's stand. It's really unfortunate he didn't come with his own. To me, all the advertising and everything else made it seem like he was going to come with his own. What he does come with instead are some adapter pieces. One for his alt mode, which goes right in here, and he can take this part of his crotch right here and slide it into this groove to get your T-Rex mode all standing. Then he comes with another two that go with his bot mode, which I'll show off later. But yeah, as a T-Rex, he looks awesome. He articulates surprisingly well. His tail has a little bit of waggle into it. You can kind of do the transformation, get a little bit more motion out of the tail. He is pretty panely, so getting him in extreme poses will cause some panel disconnects. But I don't mind that if it means some additional flexibility. You can get his leg out of the way. You'll see some robot bits, but I think that's okay if that's what you want to do. His lower leg has that T-Rex recurve. You can kind of get it straightened out. That's more for bot mode, but if you wanted to use that articulation, he also does have individual front toes. And if you really needed it, you can take the back toe and extend a bit, but you'll reveal a little bit of robot heel when you do so. Oh, that wasn't even on camera, was it? Yeah, so this back toe, collapsing it is the normal way. If you wanted to extend it, you could. Most of his articulation and his expressiveness comes from his head. In his torso's not a lot there. He's got his little teeny tiny T-Rex arms, which are actually surprisingly posable. You can get him to do his, like, you know, when he's planning and monologuing, kind of get his little arms to come in just a little bit together. They do a full 360 in motion, no problem. They've got an in and out joint, and there's a little bicep swivel even. Onto his head, which is greatly articulated, you've got a big joint going back or sideways. You've got another big joint going up and down. You can twist him however you want to get him looking kind of, you know, down or inquisitively upward, whatever you want to do there. His eyeball, if you take your fingernail, you can move his eyeball around. Let me probably get a little closer with that. How's that? Yeah, you can move that eyeball wherever you want it to be. Get it looking forward. Get it, you know, do that Jurassic Park moment where the T-Rex is looking in the Jeep and its eyes looking at the kids. His mouth, of course, if he's going to have this big expressive head, he's going to have a big expressive mouth that can do the full T-Rex roar, no problem. In playing with him, some of his, like I said, the panels tend to come loose. And because he has such a big mouth, he's got to have an articulating tongue in there to really get the roar across, which I appreciate. Overall, I love this dinosaur mode. Like, I never had Megatron as a kid. I never got Beast Wars Megatron, any of the versions. So this is a real treat for me. This Beast Wars Masterpiece line, the whole thing's a real treat for me because I had the cartoon and I had a couple toys. Side note, I won't show it now, but I did get my first ever Beast Wars toy recently from a toy shop, which I'll do a video on in the future highlighting. But yeah, Megatron is awesome looking. He just has so much charisma. He does have you can put batteries in, and he has light up and voice action. You press the top here. I've never been one for battery gimmicks. I always am worried about battery corrosion messing up the toy, so I don't bother with him. He doesn't have any Predacons to go with him for right now. The biggest comparison, I think, is how he and Optimus Prime will shape up together. And let me drop that camera even a little bit. Yeah, look at look at that. I mean, if those two are going at it, which you can absolutely have them do, I think the classic pose is Optimus Primal kind of battling Megatron. You know, like Megatron's head is half the size of Optimus Primal's whole body. So I really appreciate the fact that they just made him so big. That just makes me super, super happy. But yeah, this is Masterpiece Beast War Megatron's Alt Mode, and it looks really, really terrific. Okay, so to get Megatron transformed, let's go ahead and get him off the stand, like so. Set that to the side. And this is actually, especially for a Masterpiece figure, this was like deceptively simple. We're going to start out, there's a tab and slot here. You're supposed to disconnect. Obviously, that already happened on both sides, so we don't need to worry about that. That's just, when you start messing with the legs enough, they'll start coming undone. Then we're going to come up top, and we're going to split his head from his neck. Oh, that's actually where the panel is. So split that out and forward, get that head dangling down. We're going to come up to the top of his back, and we're going to split, and it's connected by a series of tabs that run down the spine. You can just kind of unpeg them all, get them out of the way. And now we can come in and drop the legs out of the way and fold out on this hinge here, fold out kind of his sides. And so now we've got him kind of in 4 chunks, right hand, left hand, torso, and legs. Let's get his legs done so we can get him standing. We're going to come down to the bottom, fold. Actually, it came out undone. I'll show it just in case. The bottom of his waist connects into the side of his torso in dinosaur mode. You can just untab that pretty easily, bring it right down. Then we can come in behind him. He's got this tab here, or this panel here. We can unhinge and unfold his dinosaur thigh, fold that piece back in, and then start closing it up a little bit on each side. Not close it all the way, but just get it out of the way. Then we can come down and extend his leg a little bit more, get it out of the way. And we want to take these thigh pieces and rotate them 90 degrees so that this piece on each side is the same side as where the green on his thighs are. Like I said, we didn't want to close this all the way because we want to flip out his thigh missile pods. And this is a minor complaint, but I think I remember the original toy having like a launcher mechanic here, which I kind of wish they preserved in some manner on the Masterpiece. It's cool, the detail's cool, but if these had missiles or something, that would have been real neat. Those toes, the back heel toe that we used for articulation in dinosaur mode, we can flip it out all the way to get his robot heels out of the way, and then flip his legs around 180 on each side. And now we kind of have his legs all done. And I'm going to raise the camera in just a second. We can come in on the back. Sometimes these pieces, as you're transforming them, you need to push them down. I tend to kind of do that during the transformation. They just collapse against and rest against his dino thighs. Then we open up his butt plate, which is also the adapter that his legs going to use in his stand piece. So if we wanted to, we could kind of get him on that stand. We'll set that down for a second. Oh. There we go. Pull that off. Stick this guy on. And just get him resting on that piece to help us out with the rest of the transformation. Let me raise that camera back up a bit. Okay, so now we kind of have his legs done. We can focus on his torso. We're going to open that back up in case it closed up. We're going to take his head, pop up. The head's on a ball joint. And what I've noticed is definitely a little bit of looseness in that ball joint. Get this platform up. Socket his head back in. There we go. With his head up and out of the way, we can kind of get his arms up and out of the way. And we're going to turn his torso 90 degrees this way. Then we can come in and we're going to lift up. Let's see, hopefully I don't knock the camera. I'm going to grab down on this plate here and pull up on his torso to get... There we go. Oh, and the panels were watching it, or were blocking the view. We're trying to get this torso extended like so, which it did no problem. Fold this panel in as much as possible. It kind of has a clicking point that it likes to click into here. And we're going to rotate this piece up while rotating his torso down. And you can see there is a rail right here that we're going to slide his torso back and onto. And then when that's in place, we can collapse. You can see the front of his crotch kind of extends, or the front of his pelvis kind of extends above his crotch. We can also slide that piece back. Let me get that off and see. Yeah. Maybe I did. No, it should. Somewhere, this wants to slide back further. Ah, there it is. Okay, I see what I'm doing wrong. It's on a slider that pushes the butt plate back. I was holding the butt plate. So you push the butt plate to get it forward. You need to let go of the butt plate to actually get it extended back. And there that is. And yeah, I mean, as you can see, compared to Dinobot, right, this is a much shorter transformation sequence. The next thing we can do is button up his back kibble. Actually, let's do the arms first. We'll do the back kibble at the very end. For his left arm, we're just going to open up the panels on the tail and then flip out this piece of the tail to give him his little grabber piece. And then this sits on a accordion joint. That accordion joint, we just can accordion out, and it gives us his robot hands. Like so. Then on the other arm, his tricep actually folds back to form the T-Rex head and neck. So we can swap that 180 degrees, slide that down. And this doesn't transform. He's always had his T-Rex head. We just flip his pupil back to kind of symbolize that the intelligence has left the T-Rex head and it's just a tool now. And yeah, as you can see, that's the majority. Oop, I realized that this kind of got a little untransformed along the way. Now we can turn him around. and work on that back piece. And it's actually not that hard. It's just a bunch of panels that'll collapse on each other. We'll start out here, fold this piece down, fold this piece down, fold this piece in, and fold this piece up. Fold that T-Rex arm in, fold that piece in, and there is like a sliding joint here that slides down, and the whole thing, this like, let me get that out of the way. This whole section of panel here has a tab here that we can tab into this slot here to kind of help it sit tidy and on his back, and then fold the rest of the arm out of the way. Same thing on the other side. Fold this in, fold this down, fold this up, get that arm out of the way, take this joint here, rotate it, and tab the assembly in place, and get that arm out of the way. And yeah, now we've got Masterpiece Beast Wars, you know, Season 1 Megatron, and he looks incredible. I mean, this design for me was my Megatron. Do I have a piece? Oh no, there we go. Drop this back down just a little bit. Yeah, this, like, I can hear I can hear like that when I look at this guy. He's got all those details that I remember. He looks, again, incredible. Just incredible. I love his articulation in his fingers. And he comes with all sorts of accessories. But yeah, that is the transformation. All right, so now we can go into a deep dive on what he can do in robot mode. So first, his neck can tilt up and down a little bit, which does help with his expressiveness. He's got that good side tilt and a good amount of twist. With his transformation, I was impressed by this. He keeps his torso articulation, and a little bit due to transformation, you can actually, if you really wanted to, if you separate his pelvis from his crotch, you can kind of give him a little bit of ab crunch. It breaks up the mold a little bit, but you can still get that in there, which, I appreciate on these sort of toys. Any bit of expressiveness you can get is only goodness. Then on his arm goes full 360. It goes out. You get, some crazy shoulder articulation, just due to, again, transformation and the fact that his arm is very articulated. You don't get as much curl as I would have liked, but you still get plenty of curl, and, I guess more than we could have reasonably expected with the giant T-Rex head. The T-Rex head does keep all of its original articulation. No issues there. Let me get that eye socket out of the way. The knees and thighs, you're kind of limited by your launchers here. He can't do the full Van Damme. You could, if you really wanted to. You can pull this off. It's designed to be removable, and that obviously gives you more articulation. It's mainly removable just to simulate his bathtub scene, which we can get into in a little bit. The knees can go deeper than 90 degrees, which again I appreciate. And his shins are straight. If you really wanted to squeeze a little bit more articulation out, you could kind of cheese and break it up back into the T-Rex curve. He doesn't have any ankle tilt. Oh no, I was wrong. I was just grabbing the wrong spot. He does have a little bit of ankle tilt in the front of his foot. His toes are still articulated the same way as before. On his other side, his other arm, it's got, a deeper curl as a result of not having a T-Rex head attached to it. And he's got full wrist articulation. It can turn, it can go up and down. He's got 2 joints on his thumb and 2 joints on his forefinger, and then his other 2 fingers can curl also. And then, of course, that tail can do that tail grabby thing. So yeah, in terms of articulation and expressiveness, Megatron does pretty much everything I'd like him to do. He looks big, he looks menacing, and he comes with plenty of accessories in addition to what we've seen so far with the stand. His T-Rex head, if you want him shooting lasers, you can open it up. You can see there's a socket right there. He's got a laser effect that you can plug in. And I mean, that looks awesome. Like that, just a great effect piece. I really, really dig that he came with that. I think Megatron without a Megatron laser blast piece is not a real Megatron. Actually, I wish, MP-43 didn't come with a laser effect piece, a blast effect piece. That was a real missed opportunity on their part. Besides that, he comes with his rifle that he had back, I forget which episode it was, but he does have the rifle that he can hold. Get that situated up in his palm. Am I connecting it at the right spot? Turn it this way. There we go. Yeah, so he can hold his rifle just fine, and he looks real good doing it. Besides those 2 pieces, he comes with a kind of a weird accessory that I appreciate they threw in, and that is this toothbrush here. This also can peg in. There's the slot in his hand that it can peg right into. Let me see if I can get it right this time. There we go. Oh, I thought I had it. There it is. So if you want, you can absolutely have him brushing his teeth, which I really appreciate. Really, the only accessory that he's missing that I wanted is his rubber ducky. They let you do his full bathtub mode. You can separate out his tail, get that out of the way, move those, his thighs out of the way. You can even take off, I believe we can take off this back piece. And maybe we can't. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I know we can take off his shoulder pads. I swear I took off his shoulder pads before. Pop it. Rotate it. Ah, there it is. Okay. And I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there is a section back here that we can remove these kind of wing bits. But you can have him, all T-Rex kibble free in robot mode to simulate him spending his bathtub meditation time like in the cartoon. But he doesn't come with a rubber ducky accessory for that, which I think is a real shame. Besides all those accessories and pieces that he comes with, again, he's got alternate faceplates like the other guys. The T-Rex is expressive enough they felt they didn't need to add any faceplates. But his robot mode has, his neutral face, his angry face, which I like a lot. And they just slide in and out. Let me pull it off to take a closer look. Yeah, they clip on and off, no problem. And then he's got his, like, kind of smirky, talky face. But yeah, that's Megatron. I mean, fantastic figure. I think I've got some minor complaints. I wish they included the rubber duck. I wish he had his own dedicated flight stand. Yeah. Other than that, everything about the core toy itself, I am very, very happy with. I like the design of the character. I like the expressiveness and functionality he has. Oh, let's see if we can get that piece on. There we go. I like everything he can do. And yeah, oh, you know what? I forgot to do some size comparisons. Let's show him. Here is Megatron and Dinobot, the two big dinosaur guys. Let's get the rest of the Masterpiece cast. For now, those are the two Predacons that we have out right now. And then we've got, Optimus Prime and Cheetor. Black Arachne is on the way. And yeah, that is Megatron. And he's awesome. And thanks for checking him out with me. We're done with Masterpiece figures, which I'm kind of glad to not have to do another long video. Next time will be much shorter ones. All right, catch you all later. Have a great day.